Hi, it's time for another mail call video. Today I've got two packages to open. We've got this round tube package here. This is left over from the first mail call video that I made. And then we've got this box here. And let's see what we've got going on. So we'll do the box second. The tube's left over. This is left over from the first video. And this was sent to me from Walter. Walter's in Connecticut. And I think I remember what it is, but we'll go ahead and open it up. Looks like Walter did a good job packaging. He's got some corrugated cardboard. Instead of a tube like the last time. Go ahead and take this off. This is actually a little bit easier than last time. And we've got some bubble wrap. I kind of like this. I get to throw everything on the floor. So we've got some bubble wrapped tubes here. These are Chime tubes. And he did a good job. He's got each one individually bubble wrapped and then taped them closed. So I think you can probably just slide them out. And these are K model Chime tubes. And this one's got the original hanger on it right there, the original cord hanger. So there's one. There's two, cord hanger on that one. So far, none of them are cracked, which is kind of nice. And here's the fourth one. This one's got a little crack in it right there. Oops, there, right there. If you catch the light just right, you can see it. But that's not too bad. Someone I was talking to about these a week ago or so, he said that he thought that one of the reasons why these crack has to do with the area of the country that they come from. He said he thinks the ones that come from the West Coast don't tend to crack as often as ones that come from the East Coast. He said it has something to do with humidity and ammonia in the atmosphere or something. I'm not sure about the ammonia part. I'm not sure about the humidity part either. This one's got a little crack in it there. And also someone's replaced the hanger with a new cord. And it seems like they did a good job. It seems to be about the right length, which is kind of nice. And these don't have labels on the top. You can see where the label used to be that numbered the tubes. But these have the flat caps on the top. And they're open on the bottom, of course. So this is a nice set. They're in pretty good condition. They're not too discolored or anything. It's a nice set of tubes. This is probably a nicer set than the ones from the previous mail call video, and I think these are the ones that I'm going to take to the shop. I'm actually working on a fellow's chime base from our area, a K model chime base, and I'm going to take these. It's almost done, and I'm going to take these, and these are going to be my shop set of tubes, and use them when I test people's chime bases after I'm done fixing them. So let's see what we've got in the next box. So next up is a box from Homer. Homer's in Texas, and I think I know what this is. This came in last week, and I told Cindy, let's go ahead and leave it, and we'll put it in Monday's mail video. I'm going to try to do the mail videos on Monday mornings, and we can open the things that come in the previous week. Got a lot of good paper here. And yes, I will clean up the mess when I'm done before anyone else shows up. Go ahead and take this out. Over like this. And if we get the scissors, we've got some bubble wrap. I find it surprising. We buy a lot of bubble wrap here, and we buy it in these big giant 3 or 4 foot diameter rolls, and they're 12 inches wide, and I forget how many feet on a roll. A lot. It's a lot of bubble wrap. And how much bubble wrap costs when you go down to the office supply store or the FedEx store. They have these little tiny rolls of bubble wrap. There's something, you get about this much. It's the small bubbles, lots of times it's green, and it's about this much in the package, and it's like 10 bucks. And it's crazy. They just charge a lot for bubble wrap, it seems like. So, take this off. Oh. So what we have here is, this is a NuTone solid state intercom. This is the model 2064. I like this model 2064. I like the brown finish with the ivory knobs. The 2064 was the builder entry-level model of the late 60s and early 70s. This particular one was made in 1971, and I think it was discontinued in 1973. And the brown with the ivory knobs is a nice look. It's better than the lighter finish that they make. I think it's very suitable for its time that it was made. And the reason it's a builder entry-level model is it has slightly fewer features than the next model up, which would be the 2090. The 2090 would have individual room control switches for 8 remote stations. The model 2064 is the type of design that when the system is on and you're playing the music, it plays through all the stations all the time. You can't actually turn them off here at the master station. There is a way you can do that on the remote stations by turning them down. On a model 2090, the selector switches would give you, they're 3-position selector switches. They give you a choice between radio intercom, off, or monitor, or what they would call listen in those days, and that gave you control over the stations room by room. On a 2064, the only switch you have is the door speaker on and off. If the door speaker is in the on position, you can have communication with the door speaker from any of the remote stations. However, the music will also play through the door speaker all the time, and if a visitor walks up, he can simply move the switch on the door speaker and begin speaking to you inside your house. So it's kind of a throwback design to the earliest days of NuTone intercom systems. So being a builder model, saving the cost of manufacturing, not having to make a more complex terminal block assembly, it saves a few dollars on every unit, and that keeps the cost down, which would encourage builders to install them in new homes or developments that they're building of the time. And you know, when builders are building houses, every dollar counts sometimes, so that's why they made a model like this. The thing that's nice about having this model is this is a rarer model, even though it's an entry-level model. Entry-level doesn't always mean cheaper. Sometimes it means rarer because not as many people purchase them. But from a service point of view, the thing about having this, which is an advantage for us, is one, the terminal block assembly is an unusual part. I think I probably only have one other one. So if we need one for a customer's repair, it's nice to have it. And since it's in the same family as a 2090, the chassis assembly is primarily the same. So there's a lot of interchangeable parts in it, and what you're kind of looking at here is most of what you see here, all of this is tuner. This is the FM tuner, this is the AM tuner, and then all of this is tuner. And then you've got power supply here, you've got the output transistor here on the big aluminum heatsink, and then this is the intercom control circuitry of the main board, and then of course you've got your wires and switches that connect everything together. So it's a nice model to have, even if it just became a parts unit at some point. The things that are most valuable in this from a service point of view is the 3-gang on-off tone system volume control assembly, because these do wear out sometimes, and it's not the kind of part that you can really buy anymore nowadays. So having one in stock, even if you have to rob it off a used chassis, is a way to go to keep a customer's unit working. Also, the FM tuners are a good thing to have because they do tend to have a certain amount of failure or drift as they age, and so coils and things are specific to these type of tuners, so that's a nice thing to have. It's just a good model to have on hand, and I appreciate Homer sending it in to me instead of it ending up in the landfill somewhere. One of the things that's nice about this are the ivory colored knobs. And if we take one of these off, you can see all the grunge that builds up in the grooves of the knob, and this makes them pretty unsightly. So the way we deal with this is you can take the knobs off, and we put them in a little plastic cup, and we soak them in a citrus-based orange cleaner. And if you let them soak for an hour or so, a lot of this will soften up, and it'll wash away. And then what remains in this, the way you clean out the grooves is you use a small brass bristle brush, and you bristle them in the direction of the grooves like this. And you'll be surprised at how well these clean up. If you go around, you just turn it and you keep going around and around and around, and you don't want to scrub it perpendicular to the grooves, because that'll flatten out the grooves and it won't look good. So you always go in the direction of the grooves like this, and you'll be able to bristle out all of the grunge that builds up. And the brass bristles are soft enough that they won't damage the plastic at all. And you clean this all up carefully. You can clean up the ends here, the flat part. I wouldn't use a bristle brush here, because you don't want to scratch up the metal face of the knob or the red line, indicator line that's on it. So what you can use here is a blue Scotch-Brite pad, and you can very carefully scrub it like this, and you do it under warm running water, and you'll be surprised. This will clean up like brand new. Even if you have to soak it a couple times, it's worth it to make the set look like new again, and that's kind of what we do here. So that's our mail call video for this Monday. We've got a really nice set of K model brass tubes, and we've got a really nice looking model 2064 Master Station. The 2064 will get packed up, it'll get bubble wrapped up again, and put into a box and labeled and put aside for some future use. And the brass tubes, they're actually going to the shop today. I've got the other K model Chime base to finish up and to test, and I'm going to use these in its testing. I think the other thing I'm going to do with these, or maybe the other set from the first video, is I'm going to do a short video about polishing the tubes to show you exactly how to do that, because I have people ask about it. And then there will be another one also where I show you I'm going to show you how to replace the hangers, what kind of cord to get, and how you tie the hangers through the tubes and have them come out to be the right length. So those are upcoming videos that we're going to be making. I hope you like the mailbag videos. If you do, please give them a thumbs up on YouTube. That always helps. If you would subscribe to our YouTube channel, we would appreciate it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.